All right. Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic, less known classic. This is episode number 26, 12, and Doubleshot 2506. So, this one wrapping up two books, mostly put, yes. One, actually, two series. Though the first one is going to be quite interesting. We're starting with the last 9 issues. Yes, 9 issues, not 20, not 30 books. The last 9 issues of Moon Knight's longest running book, Marc Spector Moon Knight. All written by Tim Cavanaugh. He's basically the final writer for this book. Yep. And guest appearance issue by Wear It by Night and Gambit. Yes, Gambit is in this book. Yep. Plus, I gotta love the artwork here. Yeah, mostly he just deals with a lot of stuff here throughout these mini issues. Yeah, then basically we have Marc. He just sees this beautiful woman, makes out with her, she slaps him. And by the way, this is not Marlene. Nope. It's some woman named Donna. Yep. Donna Kraft. Yeah, basically Doctor Strange makes Marc becomes makes out with her. Just cause. Yeah. Spector Corp is basically his company. And it only appears issue 38. Yeah, Donna basically appeared in the book for quite a while, and basically after this book wrapped up, she never appeared in this comic, in any comic ever again. Yep. Yeah, Gambit basically is here just because, well, why not? And it continues on to issue number 53, where we deal with this group called Hellbent. Yes, this group of monsters that just happen to appear in the book. And these members, you have Agony, Arc, Basilisk, Bass, Belly, Rebel, Crackdown, Cubus, Dawn, Mita, Dusk, Fisher, Flare, Gaze, Ganesh, Hook, Crutch, Lava, Lowdown, Makes, Misery, somehow Moon Knight got out of the group, Murmur, Ness, Network, Shadow, Reaper, Shard, Sleen, Slime, Spike, Tailspin, TKO, Triplex, Vault, and Vortex. Yeah, they first appeared in issue number 32, and they basically appear throughout the rest of the book. Basically, Moon Knight has to deal with them throughout the remainder of this book. Yeah, so some members of the group get killed off, like Network. Yeah, she appears like one issue. And basically, we also have to deal with the Shadow Cabinet, which basically did make a mention in the pages of the most recent volume for Moon Knight. Yeah, basically Moon Knight was mentioned in the book Moon Knight disbanded in the final issue. This is like the last appearance actually was issue 56. Yeah, and of course deal with more people relate. And of course, also the logo of the book changed. Yes, the let me show off the logo here. So, this logo right here, see the cover of issue 52. That had been the logo for quite some time. And then by 54, the logo changes. Actually, 54 is last time. I think it's like 55. So we have 5 issues left to go for this book. And like, I guess Mara's like, oh, let's change the logo for the book for no reason. Yes, and it remains like this for the rest of the book. Yep. So, I'm not really sure why that they decided to change the logo, but they did. Yep, and then of course 56 is the disbandment of the Shadow Cabinet. Basically, these are a group of people who work with Moon Knight. And of course, they got mentioned in the current volume Moon Knight. That was the next time they ever appeared. And one member was called Cover Girl. You're thinking, Cover Girl? Wasn't that also a character for G.I. Joe? Yes. I think Mark disbanded, mentioned, I believe in the book, he disbanded them because he figured that they should live their own lives. And plus, in the case of the book, the book is about to be over anyways. Yep. In 57, basically deals with the Infinity Crusade. And we also death of the character Agony. Yeah, she gets cut off here. Yeah, it's like weird though the fact here the book is about to end. We have a tie into a crossover. Oh yeah, and the logos kind of went back to Did they change logo again? Yes. So 56. It's basically from. Let's see. Yeah. So after like change it to this for 56, they changed again. Yep. So, yeah, logo looks like that for the last few issues of the book. Yeah, this 3D logo with the name Marc Spector basically shrunk. This one got still the name of the title, and Spider-Man makes an appearance in this book. Yep. Because Infinity Crusade, of course he does. And then basically, the font they have for the logo for issue 55, that comes back as Death and a Family. Within the story, it's basically still deal with how bent these group of monsters, and this is kind of what this deals with. And then by the end of the book, Moon Knight apparently dies, but he comes back. Yep. And that's kind of the end of the book in a nutshell. And can you believe this book lasted from... Okay, so the book basically started in... Because basically we're at the end of the book. It's the first issue was released in February of 1989. That was issue 1. The final issue of this book was released in January of 1994. So basically, this lasted for almost exactly 5 years. This book lasted for 5 years. And Moon Knight would now have a book again into his very first miniseries. By the way, his first miniseries that came after there were 2 released. Yep, 2. Let's see if we can find it here. Yeah, there were 2 miniseries released like right after this series came out. Yeah, right after this book concluded, there was 2 miniseries overall released, which we'll discuss in the first one next time. Let's see if I can find them here. That's better. Yeah, first it was Resurrection War, discussed next time. And also, there is the High Strangers miniseries, which for some reason the Wikipedia discusses as volumes 3 and 4, but technically they're 2 set miniseries. I'll discuss those next time. I think for these books, it's the return of Doug Moak. Yeah, the creator of Moon Knight comes back for this book. Yep. So, yeah, next time I see Moon Knight is in the Resurrection War miniseries. I'll discuss it next time we talk about Moon Knight, but these last 9 issues were interesting. I'm going to give the issues roughly a 9 out of 10. Final thoughts on the Marc Spector Moon Knight. It is shocking how long this book lasted for, because this is longer than even the first volume for Moon Knight. That was 38 issues. So for Moon Knight books, this is considered to be the longest one. Volume 1 is considered to be the second longest. And then here's the thing. The next time we had an ongoing Moon Knight was not released until... Now, if you're really curious about that, the very next time we had one of these was in 2006. Excuse me, really? 2006? Yes, roughly 12 years after the series concluded, that's we had another ongoing. And that lasted for 30 issues. Yep, 30. And that was, at the time, and still is right now, the 3rd longest Moon Knight book. Because the ones that came afterwards were not very long. Right after this one, we have Vengeance of Moon Knight, which that was 10 issues. And afterwards, we had, of course, Volume well, I consider Volume 5, the Bendis run, which lasted for 12 issues. Yeah, Moon Knight had this problem where Marvel had put out Moon Knight book and they just didn't last very long. It's like lasted for a little over a year. And then we had volume, what I consider to be volume 6 of the book, which lasted for a whopping 17 issues and went through 3 different writers. Yep, 3 writers. First being Warren Ellis, who did the opening 6 issues of the book. And then the book was taken over with issue number 7 by Brian Wood. And he did it to issue number 12. And then for the last 5 issues of the book were done by Colin Bunn. Yep, so 3 writers in 17 issues. And then, of course, came the Jeff Lemire run, which was shorter than the previous book, but was really good, by the way. Lasting for 14 issues. Yep, 14 issues. It was shorter. I mean, for ongoing series-wise, this is probably the second shortest run out of the entire series that was ongoing. So, shortest being, of course, Volume 4. And then we have the renumbering for issues, well, when we renumbered with issue 189. Yep, it was actually 188, lasting for 13 issues, and then got relaunched once again. Yeah, it got relaunched once again. Yeah, right after the Lemire run wrapped up, we didn't have the run that just ended. Yep. Which I have not finished reading this run yet. The final trade has not been released yet. And of course, that book ended got relaunched as Vengeance of Moon Knight, Volume 2, which it does continue numbering in the previous volume, so there's that. So, in a way, I've almost got done Moon Knight. Almost. But I still have 2 more mini-series left, and then he's done. Yep, all done. So, yeah. Okay, so next up we have the final trade for Luke Cage Second Chances. Yep. Which contains 13 and 20, along with try to find what was else in this book here. Okay, that's not going to help me. So, okay, here we go. So, this book collects not only 1320 of Cage Volume 1, it also collects Terror Incorporated 11 to 12 and Silver Sable and Wild Pack 13 and 14. The book becomes really weird under this era for Luke Cage. Yes. How weird is it? Well, you're about to find out, because this is some of the most weirdest stuff I've read. And you've been thinking, you've read this before? Yeah, I have. This is why it's kind of weird. Now, it starts off really strong with issue number 13. We have Luke Cage with basically Iron Fist being a supporting character in the book, and take on the corporation, and led by Dr. Carl Malice, who is a Spider-Man villain. Yep. Yeah, basically he's here just for a couple quick issues, and then he's done. Of course, next appears in Captain America. And of course, after he deals with the corporation for issue number, of course, you have fights Rick Mason, and then we have the crossover, which comes right afterwards. For Love Nor Money. Starts in Terror Incorporated number 11, continues in Cage 15. Part 3 is Associated Webpack number 13. Part 4 is Terror Incorporated number 12. Part 5 is Cage 16. It wraps up with Silver Sable number 14. Yeah, it's basically these three characters working together in this crossover. And I thought the crossover was really fun. Yeah, to throw in Terror Incorporated in here. A wildcard character he is. Here's the weird thing about this character. Did you know this character first appeared in a book called St. George number 2? Released back in 1988? You're probably all thinking, Nick, what the heck is St. George? It was an epic comic that was about knights. The main character is Knight of St. George, Michael Devlin. Yeah, he appears in the St. George book, but that was not his debut for his power line. It's just this religious character that G.G. Sester just created. Yeah, and sadly put, the guy never appeared much afterwards. He also appeared in the Critical Mass series too. You're like, what? So you're saying Terror Incorporated made his debut in a book featuring a Crusader? Yes, because of a different universe. That's why. He is just this weird character who just happened to talk about universes. Yeah. And when he did this crossover, he had just did a guest appearance in Nick Fury Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. issue 46. Yeah. Of course, right after this crossover wrapped up, his book actually, well, how should I put this? As soon as the crossover wrapped up, his book ended. With the very last issue being 13. Yep. The book ended. He appeared a few books here and there. That's what happened with his book afterwards. But I'll think, what about Silver Sable? Her book managed to last a little bit longer afterwards. Although Cage's lasted for a few more issues. Powerback, surprisingly, Silver Sable and Wildpack managed to last for... You're going to love this. They managed to last, right after this crossover wrapped up, for another 21 issues before the book got canceled. And it got canceled because of Onslaught stuff. Yep. But, yeah, of course, Luke Cage is fighting the beautiful Silver Sable in the story. Yeah. But this is a really fun crossover. Really fun. You're thinking, okay, so, and then here's something really weird. It's like, then it's like, okay, we wrap up this really good crossover, and it's like, oh, now it's beginning the end of the book. Because Luke Cage becomes a freaking demon. Well, first he battles the Crusader in issue number 17. And then he becomes possessed. Yes, he becomes possessed by a freaking demon for the last few issues of the book. You're like, what? Seriously. Yeah, there's this creature known as the Boogeyman who possesses him. So yeah, he spends the last few issues of his own solo title being possessed by a frickin' demon. You're like, what? Yes, seriously. That's how the book ends. Him being possessed, and then of course the creature himself does not return again after this. Nope, not really. And with book ending, you're like, okay, so why the book end? If I read, the most popular reason why a book ends, low sales. That was the reason the book ended. Was the book terrible? No, not really. Absolutely really fun book. I loved it. Final thoughts on Cage Volume 1. Just a really fun book. I thought the first half of the series was really good. The first 12 issues were amazing. And can you believe this book spun off a Punisher of all things? Yes, seriously. Though sadly, put the writer changed. I forgot to mention this. The writers of this book. You have Marc McGurr, who does basically the main book. D.G. Chester probably does the Terror Incorporated. And Gregory Wright, who does Silver Sable. Artwork is done by Scott Benful, Paris Collins, Richard Pace, Stephen Butler, Kirk Van Wommer, and Brian Pooter. The front cover is Dwayne Turner, Chris Ivy, and Veronica Ganici. Back cover, Scott Bethel and Frank Turner. Yep. So, in the case of what's next, well, I just finished the Luke Cage. This technically is the last Luke Cage ongoing series to review. And so I'm thinking, really? Yeah, it is. Because what did Luke Cage have after this for solo-wise? He had a handful of miniseries before I finally got another ongoing in 2017. Which got axed due to low sales. Yeah, it was brought back, lasted 6 issues, got renumbered to issue 166. This book was actually come out of numbering. Along with these, basically the Hero for Hire / Power Man / Iron Fist. That book counts part of numbering. This book, I think the second volume does Power Man Iron Fist, and the third volume does, and the Luke Cage book. It was numbered to 166, lasted about 170. And that was it for Luke Cage. I think he had a digital book afterwards, I'm not sure. But y'all thinking, okay, so what other books is left to go for Luke Cage? Well, there is Cage Volume 2, and then there is Cage. There's those miniseries. There is New Avengers Cage. There is the Avengers Origin Luke Cage. Yep, a one-shot that came out in 2011. I'm not reviewing that one. It was Luke Cage. It was a preprint. I'm not going to discuss that one there. So, what is really left? Cage Volume 2, Cage Exclamation Point, New Avengers Luke Cage, and that's really it for him. Well, actually, also there's Gang War 2, but that has not released in trade yet. So, I'll review the Luke Cage Gang War when it wraps up. So, basically, it's just 3 miniseries, and that's really it. So, first will be Cage Volume 2, which is a Max book. Yep, it's a Max book. Now, some of you might be thinking, what did Luke Cage do right after his ongoing series wrapped up? Yeah, what happened with him right after that short-lived title wrapped up? He appeared very sporadically afterwards. Let's see. Of course, I'll talk about that later. Let's see. So, after this book wrapped up, of course, he was also Spider-Man Presents at the time. So, after this book wrapped up, then he, of course, appeared in Infinity Crusade. He appeared in a few issues of Secret Defenders. Guest starred in an issue of Spider-Man Limited, which I think it was this issue or issue 13. That was the one. Let's see. I think it was this issue right here. Yeah, issue 13, which which is set during the Clone Saga. Yeah, this is the return of basically having Luke Cage. Yeah, and after make two-part guest appearance in Thunderstrike and appearing in a couple issues of Spider-Man Limited. Appearing also in the series Code of Honor. Yep. He appeared there for the first, 3 issues of the book. And then, right afterwards, he got moved over to Heroes for Hire. The ongoing series here by John Oswender. making some occasional guest appearance outside the book, and then once the book wrapped up, then appeared in Contest of Champions, a couple issues of the second book, a few issues of Black Panther, Thunderbolts, Iron Fist, Wolverine, which I believe this is the book where Iron Fist met Wolverine first time. He also appeared in Marvel Knights, that book. The opening 2 issues of Alias, which then he left in his own book, which I'll discuss in the later. And mostly put a lot of his appearances over time were just guest star appearances or being a supporting character in Jessica Jones' book. So yeah, next thing to discuss for him will be Cage Volume 2. And that whole run is in trade. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's next to discuss there because, well, there is some trades. Yep, there is. So it's definitely stuff discussed there. So the book was canceled. I don't know why they listed there. So basically, oh yeah, there's also Luke. So basically, here's what we got left here. We have Luke Cage Max book. We have the New Avengers Luke Cage miniseries, which that might be something discussed in the future. Yes. So there's basically like 1, 2. There's also digital book as well. That'll be interesting to discuss. Luke Cage Noir. And the Cage Exclamation Point. That's it. Yeah, it's mostly put a lot of miniseries. So I'm looking forward to discussing those in the future. Yep. So yeah, that's going to be pretty much a particular view. And I'm pretty much up to date with Comic Corners, which is great. Yep. So please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Turn notifications. And please do not hit that dislike button. So, tomorrow, review for Case Closed, Banishing Hero Party. Probably going to be soon wrapping up more Metal Heroes. Probably one manga review tomorrow. Probably just be One Piece because there's no new One Piece episode because it's a clip show. So expect to see those videos tomorrow. And maybe Comic Corner too. Okay, next video.